Hi guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're thriving. My name is Doreen. The topic I'm going to discuss today on this channel is quite a heavy topic, and I'll go slow on it. I will share what I know, especially from experience. And yeah, please leave some comments below of your thoughts about the topic. Yeah, so very many girls or very many ladies are going through this, and a couple of friends of mine are actually experiencing this from their partners, of course, of the opposite sex and all, from parents. We have some parents who are also doing this. Um, yeah, so I was reading somewhere, and this is what they had to say about this topic. So, we are going to talk about narcissistic behaviors and how you can identify them and what can help you out if you're already in a relationship or a partnership with someone who is a narcissist, how you can get out of it. Personally, I've been through such a relationship, and I felt like I should come and share what helped me, because there are very many people suffering out there. Like I said, some of my friends are actually suffering. Like, they have gone through this as well. Some have managed to escape the relationships. Even those who are married, they've managed to escape the marriage. Yeah, so this is a warning for everyone. At least if you've not taken the step of marriage, don't go full force into marriage when you have identified these characteristics of a narcissistic behavior, because most people who have gone through this, some of them have committed suicide, some of them have, given up on themselves. Yeah, so it's quite a heavy topic, and I thank God for, helping me escape that relationship. So, first and foremost, as I was reading more about narcissism and narcissistic behaviors, I landed on something that I want to share with you, and I'll be reading from this phone here. It says that a narcissist, to keep you under their spell and drain your life force, a narcissist gravitates between three deadly cycles during the relationship. So the first is idolize, the second is devalue, and then discard. So this is so true. Like, when I read this, I was like, oh my God, that is what was happening in the relationship that I was in. It was the way they've described it here is exactly what was happening. Yeah, so for idolize, they say during the idolize phase, you are propped up on a pedestal. You are the best thing that ever happened to them. They give you boundless attention, possibly calling you multiple times a day. They tell you how smart and sexy you are. You can't help but feel like you've just found your soulmate. It feels like love, but what is really going on is extremely unhealthy obsession. The narcissist has convinced themselves that they have found someone extraordinary, and by loving you up in total infatuation, they are completely distracted from their damaged inner self. So these people are just damaged. It's a condition. I read somewhere that it's a condition. These people have been damaged, maybe from their upbringing, maybe from the way they have experienced life, the life challenges they've gone through. They have been damaged. They are damaged. So it's not like there are some people who are born narcissists, like you cannot do anything about it. But I think some of them, if they go for therapy and talk through these things, go through these things, pray to God to deliver them, I think they can be delivered. I don't want to believe that, like, okay, like there's some people who can't be redeemed, but some of them can be redeemed. So this is a condition, a serious condition. Yeah, so that was the idolize phase. And then the devalue phase. Devaluing is a critical process where the narcissist subtly and overly causes you to lose your self-esteem and doubt yourself. I remember when I was in this relationship, I used to ask myself, am I? Is I? am I me? Like, it was just so devaluing, so distorting. Like, you're on a path and they distort you, and you're like, who am I? Like, you start doubting yourself. So this I agree very much. And become more dependent on the narcissist. So when they devalue you, when you're devalued, now that means you have no center. So you are trying to attach yourself to this person so they can be your center, so that you feel like you're not running mad. Yeah, anyway, so let me continue reading. You might start being told that you're too fat, stupid, disloyal, or a bad parent. You might start receiving threats, have intimacy withheld, or receive silent treatment for days on end. It's important to realize that the narcissist is going to devalue you on everything you already feel insecure about for maximum impact. So they don't devalue on the things you feel secure about, even the things you feel insecure about. And on this part of intimacy, good enough for me. By the time I got out of that relationship, there was no intimacy going on. But for people who are in marriages or in relationships where people are staying together, they are cohabiting. So I think these characteristics are exhibited. I think a friend of mine also told me about it, the silent treatment, the threats. Someone continuously telling you that you cannot do better than them, like this is it, what, like something like that. Yeah, and then your insecurities, like someone you've bared, by the time you're having sex and you're having intimacy with the person, you have bared your soul out for them. So they know your deepest insecurities, so they camp on them for maximum impact. Yeah, so, and then the last stage is discard. Narcissists get into relationships for one key reason: to receive constant attention, also known as narcissistic supply. If you are no longer providing adequate supply to the narcissist and assisting in them propping up their fantasy version of their life, they may decide that you are not valuable to them anymore. This is when you will be brutally discarded, sometimes at a moment's notice, just like yesterday's rubbish. You will be tossed out. There will be no remorse or ability to gain closure. So sometimes when someone breaks up with you immediately, please, sometimes you have to take it as a blessing, because some of these people, you're not going to get closure. If a person is a narcissist, they've been idolizing you, they've devalued you, you don't need closure. Like, that is closure enough. You have lost your self-esteem, you have lost yourself. That is closure enough that you don't need to be with this person. So when they break up with you and move on, be happy that I have escaped that one. Personally, I'm the one who broke up with a person because I could not take it anymore. I could not take it anymore. One moment you're up here, another moment you're down on the ground, like you're crushed. Yeah, so this is an article that I read that I thought that I would share with you, but also I'm going to share the characteristics that I saw when I was in that relationship, or that my friends shared with me when we were sharing, our grievances about dating or being in relationships with narcissists. So I'm going to go into that. So just like I said, just like the article said of how they focus on your insecurities, sometimes narcissists target people who have low self-esteem, people who are so empathetic and all that. So they target such people. And I'm not saying that if you have high self-esteem, they will not get to you. Sometimes, like me, I had, by the time I got into that relationship, I had very high self-esteem. I had very high self-esteem. I knew myself. I knew what I'm worth. That's why I'm not in that relationship anymore, because I saw that it was not serving me. But sometimes your life experiences, how you have grown up, they present to you a life. Is it a life? They present to you, let me say, their proposal. You see the proposal and you're like, you know what? This is it. It doesn't get better than this. And then you enter the relationship and alas, yeah, I'm laughing, but this is a serious matter. Yeah, so one of the behaviors include these people turn you against your friends. You know, they start talking bad about your friends and they make you question yourself. You're like, is that person really my friend? Mind you, this is someone who has been there for you. She has been there for your highs, been there for your lows, been there for everything. And they will make you feel like, you know what, this person may actually not be my friends. So they turn you against your friends so that you remain one person, you know, like you remain alone, and then they can corner you very well because now the only person that you have is them. You are depending on them. They have turned you against your friends. So I saw this in the relationship that I was in, but also my friend who got out of that relationship told me a similar thing. They were like, this person, you know, you would talk about your friend and be like, that is not your friend. That guy is not your friend. They get the smallest thing and twist it around, and you also start wondering, like, by the way, she could actually not be my friend. Mind you, this is someone who, like, your bestie is like someone who you know that this person can never do this. Yeah, so if you're in a relationship and the person is turning you against all your friends, and you will find that you're remaining alone, like, sis, brother, be woke, be woke. Yeah, that person may actually be a narcissist. Another behavior or another characteristic of a narcissist is that they do not want you to be better than them. So, for example, if you're pursuing a bachelor's and they have a master's, so they will tell you, like, you know, you shouldn't do a master's because they don't want you to go at a level that they are at. If they have a bachelor's and you have a certificate, they'll be like, by the way, you shouldn't do a bachelor's, you should stay where you are. Like, you're like, but for you have a master's, you have a bachelor's, why don't you want me to also, you know, go higher? So they want you to keep lower than them. It is their life's mission to keep you lower than them. But also the self-esteem that they get from, like, they drain from you, the way they devalue you, like, you can even also not start thinking about, you know, being higher than them. Yeah, so if you have someone, if you have a friend, if you have a relative, if you're in a relationship and someone is constantly putting you down and telling you that you can't be better than them, when you try to pursue something that elevates you more than them, they are fighting, like they want you to keep down. That means that person might be a narcissist, might be a narcissist. Yeah, so that is another characteristic or behavior. Yeah, so in that sense, the other characteristics that they make you feel like they are the best that you can do. You get, I got a word for that characteristic or that behavior. It's called grandiosity, exaggerated sense of self-importance, which manifests in a way of putting you down. So grandiosity is an exaggerated sense of self-importance. So they make themselves so important in your life. And this is done in that idolizing phase, the picture that they draw up for you. And you're like, you know what? This is the best that I can do. You get it? So that means that they have exaggerated themselves. They have put themselves up there. And even you feel like, you know what? Nothing gets better than this. And let me tell you something. That is not true, because the life I'm living right now is way better than whatever, you know, pedestal or idol or whatever idolizing or whatever future that person had promised. This is way better. So I'm here to assure you that you can do better. You can actually do better. My friends who are also going through that are actually who went through and overcame and escaped those behaviors and those characteristics. And those people, they are actually doing so much better. And then next is, I'm reading from my book because I wrote them down. I didn't want to forget them. They do not, narcissistic people do not want to be challenged. So whatever they say, whatever they say is a fact. Like, you cannot challenge them. There's nothing like agree to disagree. No. What they're saying is a fact and you must agree to it. If you challenge them, then now you're trying to be above them. Now that makes them angry. Before you know it, you have a slap. Before you know it, yeah. So someone who doesn't associate very well with challenge, who doesn't want to, be like, you know what, that point that you've given is right. They always want to, they're always right, if I may say it like that. Like for us, for me, I'm always right. What I say is the fact, even when you know that what they are saying is not a fact, and you bring the facts on the table. Yeah, so if someone you're dating has this type of characteristic or behavior, please be mindful. Be mindful, be conscious of them. And if they have coupled behaviors, like the things I've talked about above, and then plus this, girl, boy, it's time to move on. Yeah, so that is another characteristic. So another characteristic is that the good days are really good and the bad days are bad. They are bad. So this relationship that I was in, it was like, you know, up and down. It was like a sine wave. Those mathematicians know a sine wave. Yeah, so some good days you up, you're doing spa dates, you're traveling, anytime you can, you know, go anywhere you want, eat anything you want. Like you comment about something, they're like, no, don't worry. What? Then on the bad days, you're like, Mukama, am I still alive? Am I dead? Am I running mad? Like you're almost driving yourself to Butabika because you are emotionally drained. You are rethinking yourself. You're like, am I me? Is this me? Am I? Like, those are on the bad days. And then on the good days, then another good day comes in and it is extremely good. Sometimes someone shared and said, you people, suffering is not it. Like if you're in a relationship and you're suffering, that is not it. Like there's some people who are in good relationships, in peaceful relationships, in, you know, good partnerships. They are working together. They are living together very well. They are happy. They are okay. Guys, let's not glamorize suffering. Let's not glamorize suffering, guys. If you're in a relationship and you up and down all the time, man, like that can be so draining. I remember I would be so emotionally drained. I would ask myself, and of course now you've already been isolated. You're not with your friends anymore, so you cannot talk about these things with your friends because, you know, they have cut you off your friends. Yeah, so you're just there, you're in a cocoon. So it is just so bad. So one of the things that I would say about that, about the good things, the good days being really good and the bad days being really bad, is that you are tempted to think that, you know what, and especially if you're desperate, we are now in our 30s, you know, we are in our 30s, and you're like, which other man is going to marry me? Am I going to get another one? Sister, let me tell you something. You do not want to spend the rest of your life suffering. You can wait a little longer and get someone who actually loves you, who cares for you, who will not treat you like trash, who will not treat you like rubbish. So don't get tempted to think that maybe let me stay for the good days. When the bad days come, you know, maybe I will learn how to maneuver and learn how to go around the whole thing. If he says something, whether it's a fact or not, I'll just accept to keep the peace. That is so draining. That is so emotionally draining, physically draining. Before you know it, we shall just hear that you died because of that. So just move on. Just get out of that relationships. Let go. Let go of all the good things. Trust that you can get those good things elsewhere. And one thing that helped me during that relationship is that I was working. So I was feeding myself. I was renting my own house. So I was paying my own rent. I was actually in a position to get myself everything that this person was giving me. So that's what helped me. I was like, you know what? Like, I can do this for myself. What am I doing here? So that is why it is very important as a single lady, or even if not a single person, like to be so confident in yourself or self-reliant in a way that you can get out of these situations where someone wants to hold you captive because they are taking care of you. Yeah, so think about that and see how to work towards it. So I do not want to give you only characteristics or behaviors of narcissists. You might be in this relationship, you're already in, you're in deep in. Yeah. Sometimes you already have children with them. Sometimes, like, they have really held you, like, they have they've held you captive. When you feel like you cannot break loose. So I want to share with you some of the things that helped me to break loose. One of the things that helped me to break loose was prayers. You people, I used to pray. I used to pray to God. You know how they say that you know your person because of the peace that they bring into your life? So that is what I feel with my husband right now. I feel so much peace. Even when we started dating, when he asked me out, I felt peace. I didn't need to think about so many things. What? I felt so much peace. You know, knowing that the person has gone away, but they will come back to you. Not worried about anything. Knowing the person takes care of you, the person cares genuinely about you, you really feel peace. Yeah, so what they say about you feeling peace in a relationship or an whatever, you feeling peace when you're in a relationship is so true. So prayers helped me. I would tell God, I'm like, God, I know, okay, they always say that marriage is known, is like it's full of ups and downs. I'm like, cause me, I was committed, you know. I was like, let's we're planning to get married actually. We had planned where we're going to stay, how the functions were going to be, and those plannings would be during the good time. So they paint a picture like so beautiful that you're like, okay, the bad things, maybe we can deal with them. So, but when I'd go into prayer, I would tell God, but God, I'm not at peace with this. Like, I felt like there was a war, there was strife, there was, like, this is not it. This cannot be it, you know? And another thing that I would encourage us to get is spiritual parents. Now, prayers from my spiritual parents are the ones that I think detangled me from, this relationship. And shout out to you, Mama and Papa. You really did a great job to detangle me from this relationship. And I am forever grateful for that, because I would be now suffering. I'd be suffering right now. So, and I also have a friend of mine who managed to break loose. And I pray that if you find yourself in such a situation, seek out to God, seek God and tell God everything. You're like, God, I see this, I see that, but I don't think this is it. I don't think this is it. What is going on? Why am I doubting myself? Why am I not praying anymore? Like, why am I not in communion with you anymore? Like, because these people make you do things that actually even make you distance yourself from God. Okay, I did not get that far, but I know people who have done things that even have made them distance them from God. So turn back to God and pray to God to help you detach from this person. Yeah, so prayers from myself to let go, and also prayers from your spiritual parents or your accountability partner or your prayer partner to help you let go, and prayers to also open up to someone, open up to someone and tell them, this and this is happening. Have you noticed this and this? And in most cases, some of you, your friends will have told you that that person, or your parents will have told you that that person. And you're like, no, but what? But what? Because of the good days. The good days are always so good. Yeah, so when someone tells you something about the person, just think twice. Ask yourself, why have they seen this in this person? Maybe let me take a step back and see if I can see what they are saying. Yeah. And another thing is affirmations and self-assurance, telling yourself that you may lose out on the good things, especially the ones that you are not able to give to yourself at that particular moment, but telling yourself that you can work hard and give those things to yourself. Because let's face it, sometimes as human beings, we are selfish. We want those things that, the good things that are coming to us, we don't want to let them go. Yeah, so tell yourself, assure yourself, you're like, I have come from far, where I have reached right now. I can give myself everything I want. What this person is promising me, I can actually get it for myself. But more than that, affirm yourself. Remind yourself how good you used to feel about yourself. Remind yourself how intelligent you are, how beautiful you are. You know, remind yourself all the plans and goals that you had for yourself before you came into this relationship, and that will help you to move on, you know, to let go and to cut ties with this person, believing and trusting that you can do this, you can give these things to yourself if you work hard and you're determined. Yeah, so on that note, I would want to encourage ladies, men, women, everyone, like, strive to be financially independent, you know, like, because at that moment, personally, I was financially independent. Like, I could take care of myself, I was paying rent for myself, I was feeding myself, because before he came into my life, I was okay. Like, I was not struggling with anything. I was financially okay. According to the money I was making and the lifestyle I was living, I was really okay. And let me tell you something. Yes, the big gifts, luxury gifts were really nice. I cannot say they were not nice. They were nice. But then you have to ask yourself, are these gifts worth my sanity? Like, are the gifts worth your sanity? Yeah, so you have to tell yourself, you know, like, you know what, I cannot get myself this right now, but if I work hard, I'll get it for myself. So some ladies are trapped because of the finances, because you find this person, like I said, how they see a lack in you and they capitalize on it. So some ladies are, you know, they go into these relationships for finances. So such a person, it would be hard for you to break off this relationship if you entered it, you know, because of finances. So what you can do in that moment is start doing something for yourself. You may not tell this person what you're doing, because you know they will discourage you, because they want to keep you in control, they want to keep you under their control. So start doing something, start saving. When they leave your kamweza money, save. When you have a project, go do it, save some money, so that you can be financially independent and be able to break off from this person. So I have a few friends who have gone through these narcissistic behaviors, who have had narcissistic parents, who have had narcissistic partners, and some of them are still in the healing process. For me, I'm healed. That's why I'm here talking about this. Some of them are still in the healing process. I know there are very many people going through this, leave alone the few that I know. There are even some of you who are watching this. I know you are going through this, and you know that you're not supposed to be here, but you're still there. Yeah, so when my friends heal and are ready to talk about this, or if I meet someone who is readily available to share their experience about the narcissistic behaviors, especially in a marriage, I would want to talk to someone who went through narcissistic behaviors in marriage and how they overcame. For me, mine was a relationship. There were no serious entanglements. We didn't have kids. We did not have sex. We did not have. So there were no entanglements. Like, it was easy for me to move on. Yeah. So if I get someone or one of my friends is healed enough to come here and share their story, we are going to come back and share more about these experiences, so that we can help someone out there to do better even the first time. So as you're watching this, I know you had thoughts. Maybe some of the things that I said were, you know, not normal or different from your opinions about the whole situation. Please leave a comment below. Let's learn from each other. If you know a friend who detangled, or if you're that person who detangled yourself from a narcissist, please let us know how you did it. And if you have not yet, you know, draw up a plan and see how to go about it so that you can be free. On my Instagram, there's a highlight that is written on mental health awareness. If you need any mental health counseling, if you need counseling, if you need therapy, there are phone numbers there that you can call, and then you go and get therapy for yourself so that you can feel better. If you're a narcissist, go and get therapy. If you're watching this video and you realize that all the things that I've talked about are your characteristics, go and get therapy. You are not okay. You are not okay. And if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, go and get therapy. On top of prayer, on top of self-affirmations, on top of, you know, snapping out of it, go and get therapy, get counseling to help you heal faster and to help you be a whole person at the end of it all. Yeah, so that is it for this video. I have had this information for a long time, but I was like, do I share this? Do I not? But I've realized that the number of people in such relationships is continuously increasing. So this is the time to talk about this, and especially from, your own past, your own fellow Ugandan. Yeah, so I hope you have learned something. I hope this information is going to be freeing for you, to free you from a relationship with a narcissist, to help you put boundaries in place, to even if the narcissist is your parent or your friend, to help you put boundaries in place to protect your mental health, because that's what matters most, your mental health. Because you do not want to go to Butabika, you do not want to run mad and they take you to Butabika. Yeah, so I hope you learn how to draw boundaries between these people. I hope you can, if it's a relationship, you can manage to leave it and move on with your life. I hope you find a way out. Generally, I hope you really find a way out, because that's not a way to live. That is not the way to live. Yeah, so on this channel, I always say progress is progress, no matter how small. So keep moving, keep growing, and keep glowing. Like, share, and leave a comment below so that we can interact and learn more from each other. Bye bye. See you in the next video.